Hey, okay, so I watched a video of, what men think about sex, and we already know what men think about sex. Not all men, not all men. You will not hear me say in my videos all, always, or never, because there's always exceptions to the rule. If you are the exception to the rule, then this does not apply to you as a man, okay? If you are the exception, believe me, we think the world of you because you are rare, okay? And I'll try to remember to post the video. Um, I really didn't care what the video was about. I watched it before, and when I did, it's more for entertainment purposes because I already know that they consider physical intimacy a sport. They want as many partners as they can find. Some women do the same thing, but this video is pertaining to men because a lot of men are obsessed with sex. It doesn't matter if they're dating, engaged, married, it don't matter. I want that over there. Okay? They allow that piece of meat to tell them what to do and how to do it. I've never seen a body part control somebody, but it does for a lot of them. And if you haven't read the book, What Men Don't Want Women to Know, you would get a clear picture of what's in a man's mind, some of which you probably wish you didn't know, okay? But it's good to know so that you're not running around naive and silly, okay? And thinking that because somebody thinks you're hot, that that's supposed to mean something because he thinks anybody is hot who's willing to spread for him. Not all men, okay? But there's exceptions, but they're few and far in between. That book will tell you everything you need to know. If you didn't know, it goes deeper and tells you, if you go to Scribd, SCRBD, Scribd.com, and then put in the title, What Men Don't Want Women to Know, you could read it for free because there are some people who are charging $300 and up for the book because they know how in demand that book still is, even though it came out a long time ago. It's still in high demand, so people are going to take advantage of that and try to rob you blind financially. We're going to skip past all that and go to free because free is affordable. All right. So on this video, I saw something disturbing. I saw in the comments women saying things like, well, I'm just going to get mine too, and I don't need to like you either. In fact, I don't like men. I can't stand them, but I got to get my freak on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Are they even paying attention to what they're typing, or are they just typing? A lot of men can't stand women. They have anger and resentment towards them. A lot of them are that way because of issues with their own mothers. That's not the only thing that causes them to act that way. There's genetic components, there's predisposition towards anger and depression and anxiety and things of that nature. There's the incel mentality where girls have always found certain guys off, and so they never went out with them. And she was ding, ding, ding correct because he turned out to be a shooter. He went in there and started shooting up schools or whatever the case is. So her feeling that you were off was right on the money, okay? Because you go ahead and prove why she shouldn't go out with you. We're going to look at this from a logical perspective. If you know that most men are obsessed with getting it on, and they do not have the ability to see women as human beings, they see us as objects. We are inanimate objects / sex toys. In their twisted mind, that's exactly what we are. We're not human beings. We do not have emotions. We are just not tender, warm, loving, nurturing. We are just walking, talking toys for their pleasure. When you know, and this is where common sense has to sit in or set in, when you know that the majority of them objectify women and will lie their asses off and pretend they have feelings for you in order to get your clothes off. I mean, they go into full manipulation, project get that girl. So what do? For some women, I'm going to lay him because I got to get mine. Why would you want to lay with someone who objectifies you? Why would you want to lay with someone who has no respect for you? Why would you want to lay with somebody who hates your guts? I don't care what your excuse is and your quotation marks reasons are. It's stupid and defies logic. You are not that hot. You aren't. You're desperate for attention. You're desperate for someone to be attracted to you. In some cases, they're missing their dad. They never had a real dad in their life, so any male attention is better than no male attention. And not a damn one of those are good reasons to spread for somebody who can't stand you. Oh, he'll be warm, loving, and kind. Fake kind. Because they could do all kinds of circus tricks to get you to be convinced that they have feelings for you when they really don't. I think it's alarming that there are women that are bragging that they are just like men. I don't have feelings for him either. I don't care. Shoot, I don't have to like his ass either. What would be the purpose of you competing with who can be the coldest? I could be just like a man. I just got to get mine. Why do you have to act like a man? What are you trying to prove? What is so lacking in your self-esteem or lack thereof? What is so lacking that you're willing to lay down with your enemy? What is so lacking in your life that you have to lay down with someone who doesn't like you, someone who objectifies you, someone who would separate himself from you when you're having a medical issue, someone who could abandon you when you're going through a crisis? Because a lot of men are narcissistic because the world kisses their ass. Their parents kiss their ass. Okay? So they become convinced when they get older, not all men, they become convinced that, the world does owe me everything. My parents taught me that when I was little by giving me one chore and giving my sister 25 chores. And by treating me better than they treated my sister. They treat her like crap and they treat me well. That must mean that I'm all that in a bag of chips. So they learn from a young age that they start having a God complex. I could do and say whatever I want to do and say, and et cetera, et cetera. So what do? You turn into a toxic person. What point are you proving when you act just like them? What does that, what's the purpose of that? You're not that hot. You don't have a pecker. You don't have testosterone beating you upside the head, telling you that you've got to focus on getting laid all the time. I don't even know how men concentrate on the job because all they care about is one thing and one thing only. Well, they care about money too. Not all men, but they care about money and sex. I just don't understand why you would justify acting like a guy. You're not that hot. You're not. And if you are, you might be addicted. You might be addicted to sex. And if you are, you need therapy. Any addiction is not healthy. I was stunned at women enticing other women to spread for men. If you're in a serious relationship with him, give it to him, because if you don't, he'll get it from someone else. Let me explain you something, sister girl. He's getting it from somebody else anyway. Even if you're married, and especially if you're married. Look at all the people that are cheating. Women too. Look at all the people that have no morals anymore. If that person is supposed to be in your life, they will respect you. They will not make your entire relationship based on physicality. And if they do, you shouldn't be with them because they're not capable of locking into you mentally, emotionally. They're not capable of locking into you. But you got women on this particular thread telling other women, well, give it to them. Why would you tell her to do that? So that she could get her heart dropped like you did many times? If women don't keep their freaking legs shut, men are going to continue to do what they're doing. If everybody stops laying them, they'll be forced to either get some goddamn therapy, or they're going to have to go about getting what they want a completely different way, which is going to increase their anger and frustration, I might add. And you have idiot women encouraging other women to give it up. And one woman said, "Oh, you should give it up to him because if you don't, somebody else will." I said, Fumi is a well-known YouTuber. Her husband waited when they dated, and they're married and they're very happy. You don't reward someone for bad behavior because they may try to get with somebody else in the future. 9 times out of 10, he's trying to get with somebody else anyway, whether you giving it up or not. And I told you before, and I'll tell you again, because I'm going to keep it real with you. Your V will get you killed. Let me let that sink in. Your V will get you killed. A lot of women have died because men used their V to manipulate the hell out of them, to make these women fall in love with them because they know that hormones will get you stupid. Hormones will trick you and lead you to believe that you are head over heels in love and he's in love with you when he's not. And when he starts treating you horribly and you decide you want to leave, he'll make sure you leave permanently. This happens all the time. If you don't know that, you need to start reading the news. Because this is a common thread. They don't want to break up with you. They'd rather end your life. So your V will get you killed. You in love every time he puts something up in there. But he's not in love with you. A lot of times, if he's toxic, a typical narcissistic man, he's not in love with you. But he knows that every single time you get naked with him, you get stupider and stupider. And I'm not trying to be funny. I've been stupid too. And then I learned to separate physicality from a connection, emotional connection, because physical does not mean this person's connected to you. It doesn't mean that. It just means that they could be manipulating you sexually because they know it works. People do what they do because it works. You do not reward someone for bad behavior. Oh, they're not most of them are not capable of loving me. Let me take my clothes off. Does that make any sense to you? If you think about it from a rational, logical perspective, does that make sense to you? Makes no damn sense. So until women do the 4B movement, which started in Korea, South Korea, where women have just decided, I'm done. No more physical, no more relationships, no more weddings, get married, having babies. Get out, get away from me, because you don't have respect. No way. Women are finally getting smart. The ones who aren't smart are screwing their enemy. I got to get mad. No, you got to get some therapy. Because your V is being used against you. And you're happy to be used. Which tells me something's wrong with you. You know logically that they don't give a shit. Why do you think they go into dramatics and tears and guilt trips when you don't spread? I was told when a guy tried to manipulate me out of my clothes and it didn't work, and he came up with a bunch of lies trying to convince me to do this. I never met him in person and never was going to meet him after his behavior. And then he says, when his manipulation and lying and bullshitting wasn't working, he said, now he's going to resort to insults. Well, it seems to me like you have to be in control. I said, when it comes to my body, you damn right I'm in control. It is your responsibility to be in control of your body. It is not your responsibility to feed your ego by spreading for people, because the only thing you're doing is breaking yourself down. You're going to destroy yourself. Because he flashed dimples and smiled at you, and, he talks real slick and kisses you on your hand, and he's just Mr. Casanova, so you have no choice but to give it to him. What the hell is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Where is your self-control? Because a lot of these dudes are monsters. They're absolute monsters. Slipping things in women's drinks, and then have the nerve to tell them, at the bar, well, I'm going to go ahead and take you home because there's a lot of wolves out here who will take advantage of a woman. Meanwhile, he might take you to your house and he will assault you while you're under the influence of what he put in your drink. Acting like a man is not the key to happiness. Let me be emotionless like a man. Yay! Something's wrong with you if you act that way. Something is wrong with them when they act that way. You want to match bad behavior with bad behavior? It doesn't make any damn sense. And when you read through the comments, I'm going to put the title in the description. When you read through the comments, you're going to be like, what? Yeah, that's what they're doing. I don't have to like you either. I just need to get my cookies off. No, you need a shrink. What you're doing is self-destructive. And when you bottom out psychologically because you've been used as a, you know, biological trash can, you got dumped inside of by everybody. Who do you think's going to be there for you? Which one of them, or how many of them, are going to be in your corner when you have a meltdown? When you can't function, when you're crying yourself to sleep every night because you've been used your whole life by dudes. You think any of them are going to help you through it? They don't care. They, in fact, they will use that as an opportunity to get you to spread again. Baby, I got something to make you feel better. Come here. You're so pretty when you cry. Come here, babe. You know I love you, right? As he unhooks your bra. You know, there is something called self-destruction. Some people enjoy sabotaging their own life. They get a kick out of it. They've always done it, and they will continue to do it. And it's going to result in very bad things. It could result in you ending yourself. You got to use your brain, not your V. Your brain. Okay? Your brain. You do not reward people for bad behavior. Oh, you're not capable of loving me and you just see me as tits and ass? Oh my God, that's so respectful. Come here. Come here, you sexy thing. Come on, let's stop being stupid. Let's use our brain. Acting toxic like them is not the answer. The answer is keep your legs shut and keep your clothes on. Sometimes, not often, sometimes males catch feelings for you accidentally. Sometimes, not often, but sometimes guys quit being dogs and quit poking everything, and they actually accidentally caught feelings for this one particular person and can't live without her. It's not a common thing, but it does happen. Don't expect that to happen because it is rare, but it does happen. You're not going to hump your way into a healthy relationship. You're not going to hump your way into being engaged. You're not going to hump your way into being married. Because a man doesn't respect you because he put it in there. Because he stuffed your turkey. He don't have respect for you because of that. And as a matter of fact, they have less respect for you when you give it up. Because they hated you before you took your clothes off. Oh, snippity snap. Did I go there? Yes, I did. They had no respect for you before you took your clothes off. So what do? You take your clothes off. That's stupid and dumb and asinine and backwards and shows that there's something seriously wrong with you. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's the equivalent of giving someone, a burglar, a key to your house. Hey, I've heard that you burglarize, a lot of houses in this neighborhood. You don't have to burglarize my house. Here's the key. And you feel justified in giving this person the key. That's stupid. That's just dumb. Anybody who wants to reward their enemy needs their head examined. I don't care what lies you come up with and excuses you come up with. I got to get mine and I'm hot. I always had a high sex drive. No, the hell you don't. You need to be validated. Why would you need your enemy to validate you? Oh, snaps. Why would you need your enemy to validate you? So, not to mention, and I've said this before, as of 2024, August of 2024, Georgia had 15,000 new positive HIV tests. Oh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So let's just keep banging. All of us bang each other. Let's keep it going. Let's spread as much of this as we can. People don't care that there's a deadly virus out there, potentially deadly virus. If you don't respond to medication, you're going to be in a real bad situation. And the medicine damages your heart. You're not going to hear nobody talking about that on a commercial for medication for HIV. They're not going to tell you that the medicine damages your heart. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Ain't nobody going to tell you that. I will tell you that though. I just don't understand the lack of logic. I just don't get it. And the justification. I gotta get it. You don't gotta get shit. You gotta get some brains. Because you're self destructing. You are self destructing. Learn to have self discipline. Learn to keep your clothes on. Learn that your body, you are worth more than your body parts. You could have all the parts to a car. If the parts are not together in the proper way, the car will never run. So you don't just need the parts, you need them put together properly in order for the car to run. You are considered body parts to the majority of males. You are body parts to be played with, toyed with, lied to, cheated on, manipulated, and then tossed to the side until I can't find a piece of butt right now. I'll call you because I know you're easy. Hey, girl, hey, what you doing? Why don't you come over here? I know it's 11 o'clock at night. You shouldn't be driving by yourself at night, but hey, I got needs. Come here, girl. Okay. Oh my God. Do y'all not have big sisters? Do y'all not have any females in your family that know what you're doing, that can sit you down and try to talk some sense into you? Come on now. Even friends. If your family is dumb, then you may have friends. One of them being smart or two of them being smart. Girl, we need to talk. We need to talk today. People can only talk to you but so much, though. If you insist on self destructing, then the only thing they could do is sit there and watch it happen and soothe you through your emotional pain. But they know you're going to turn around and do it again tomorrow. So that's just the way it is. But you don't have to destroy yourself to learn a lesson. You can see what men are putting other women through, and you can make up your mind that you're not going to be in that position. Now, if you want to be destroyed by men, keep doing what you're doing. Nobody can stop you. They could try to talk some sense into you, but the words may bounce off. I'm just horrified that women are acting just like men and justifying it and getting aggressive about it. I'm going to do what I want to do. Go right ahead. Go for it. Because you may bottom out so hard that you decide you don't want to be here anymore. And nobody can stop you from doing that either. But ain't no man, ain't no swinging dick out there worth me ending myself for. I sever ties with every single last one of them before I do that. But if you insist on throwing yourself in front of a train, hey, go for it. For those of you who are intelligent and you're listening and you're paying attention to what guys are really doing, and you're paying attention to the fact that they have zero respect, they defend each other and will never defend a woman. They protect each other over a woman any day of the week. Did you not learn anything from the book? And if you've read it, read it again. Men will help their married guy friends, even if they're both married, they'll help each other cheat. And they'll help their friend lie to the wife. And these are the people you're spreading for? Girl, please. Girl, please. You have got to wake up. Shake your own tree and wake up. And stop justifying stupid, idiotic, illogical behavior because under the pretense of you're so hot you can't help it. No, you need validation. Something's wrong with you psychologically. That's what's really going on. But you can't come out and say that because people will look at you horrified. So you have to pretend that you're like a guy, that you're that super hot. No, the hell you are not. No, you're not. You're desperate for attention. You're desperate for someone to think you're hot. Problem is, he doesn't care. He's going to get what he wants and skip down the road. And as long as you stay open for business, he's going to continue to take advantage of you. When do you get a clue? When do you wake up? How many men do you have to bang before you realize that none of them are going to fall in love with you? They're not wired that way. There's a tiny percentage of men that actually have feelings other than their pecker, but that's few and far in between, especially in today's hedonistic society where everything is all about pleasure. I got to feed the flesh. I got needs. You need to see a psychiatrist. You need to get medication. You need to dive into your childhood to find out why you act the way you do. There's a reason. What reward are you getting for being used, ladies? What's the reward? 10 minutes of pumping, and then he's like, okay, bye. Until next time, I'll see you on the flip side. Oh, yeah, that's classy. He's not in love with you. 9 times out of 10, he's not in love with you. He's just in love with jumping between your legs. I've had this talk, I don't know how many times, and women are still getting worse and worse and worse. And so men are going to continue to get worse and worse and worse because he knows with you, all he has to do is make a phone call. And no matter how badly he treats you, you'll still open for business. So he's going to keep using you, even though he has a wife and 5 kids at home. Wow. Anyway, I am still tired and hungover from surgery, so I'm going to crash and burn at some point. But I hope someone listens to this message. I hope I'm not wasting my breath because I can't get through to you if you are hard-headed. I can't get through to you if your brain is like titanium. I can't get through to you if you are determined to destroy yourself. You've grown. You can destroy yourself. You have every right to do it. If that's what you want to do, then go for it. But I'm trying to prevent you from doing that. And only you can help yourself by doing the right thing. You know, there was a lady who threw her kids off of, little kids, off of Niagara Falls, and she jumped as well. The article alluded to she had some issue with a man. And that's why she did what she did. Now, is that true? I don't know. But women do desperate things because of men. And I thought he loved me, and I thought he respected me, and I thought he was the love of my life. And so what do? You self-destruct, and you take yourself out, and you take your children out, if that's the case. But it's not like women haven't done that before behind a man. She don't have to wait for him to take her out. She takes herself out because it didn't work out because he's helping other people. Well, you were always open for business. You encouraged his bad behavior. What did you expect? He ain't in love with you just because he poked you all night long Friday night. And y'all drank champagne and you had candles lit and soft music playing, so now we're in love? He set the stage. He set the stage. That is like a, you know, stage props for a TV show. The romantic scene in a TV show. That ain't real life. Somebody better wake up here. Somebody better get a clue because self destruction is never cute. Y'all take care. Much love. Bye.